Hey everybody, this is session 4 of a 5-part series that I am doing on chapter 1 from Game Changers for Government Contractors. The chapter 1 is called What It Takes to Win, and in that chapter I talk about a lot of skills and things you need to develop to be really successful as a government contractor. And the one I want to talk today about is your research skills. So when you get into government contracting, more than maybe any other business, you really need to develop research skills. I call it like the research ninja level type stuff, where you've got to get really good at taking one little piece of data and turning that into a lot of stuff. And so a lot of times when you are looking for something about a client, about a contract, or you're searching for opportunities, you're starting from a place of, like, where do I go? What do I do? And maybe you start to look in SAM.gov. Maybe you look in USA Spending at different things. But a lot of times that's just a starting point, and you've got to connect the dots. And so let's say, for example, that you pulled some data in USA Spending and you discovered that the Army was your top buyer of your services, and you drilled down further and realized that, say, Fort Hood was really buying the most of these services. Then you're like, well, who do I talk to at Fort Hood? So now you bounce over to SAM.gov and you start drilling down into that stuff, and you're searching and searching, and maybe you're looking for a contracting officer's name or something, and all you know is Fort Hood. So how do I dig down in that? Well, there's a spreadsheet out there that we've found. I'll be happy to share it with you, that has all the contracting codes for the contracting offices. So you could literally open that spreadsheet and say, what are the codes for Fort Hood? And you could grab one of those codes, drop it into SAM, and now you're seeing opportunities that relate to Fort Hood. Then you start to look through some of those and find contracting officers' names and email addresses and phone numbers and all that kind of stuff. But maybe you need more information. So maybe now you bounce over to LinkedIn and you start looking through LinkedIn for stuff. The point is, a lot of times you're not going to get all of the information you need packaged in a nice, pretty little one-pager just for doing a quick Google search, or by asking me, hey, Mike, can you give me these 5 things about this opportunity? And I might say, yeah, but it's going to take some research. We've got to go look. And I will look in SAM.gov. I'll look in USA Spending. I'll Google some stuff. I'll go look on the agency website. I'll go look on LinkedIn. I'll go, just start all over the place. And next thing you know, I'm pulling a little bit of data from all over the place to create that one pager of the information that you needed. And that's for everything in government contracting, whether it's about a specific opportunity, because maybe you get all this data and then you're like, well, I need historical data on this contract. And guess what? Maybe you can't find it because you don't have access to the right system. Maybe part of your research ninja phase is going to the contracting folks and asking for that information. Maybe they don't respond, so you got to go down another rabbit hole and start looking for it. And so hopefully you can kind of see where I'm going here. A lot of times when you want one thing, you've got to connect the dots by finding other things to finally get around to that one thing that you were looking at. And so being a research ninja means I'm often just looking for one piece of information that connects me to another piece of information, that connects me to another piece of information, that eventually gets me the whole picture of what I'm looking for. Because guess what? Maybe you're looking for a contracting officer's number and you've looked through SAM, you've looked through all these other places, and you can't find that person's phone number, but you found their email address. Or you found somebody in their office and you found their information. So now you're picking up the phone and you're calling them and ask, hey, I'm trying to reach Susan, but I can't reach her. All I've got is an email and the email bounced or whatever happened, right? I can't get through. Can you help me get through? So you're not only employing the internet, all the systems that are out there, you're picking up the phone, you're making phone calls, you're sending emails. And that's what a research ninja does. A lot of times people will reach out to me and say, hey, Mike, I'm looking for this information and I can't find it. I've looked high and low on this, can't find any information. I don't think it exists. And it does exist. It's just, what rabbit hole do you got to go down to find it? And so if I could give you one piece of advice, it is to just not stop looking and try to find one thing that's really simple to search. If you're trying to search for a lot of stuff all at once, that may make it more difficult, where I can, instead of saying contracting officers who buy information technology at Fort Hood, you could try that search. But if that search doesn't work, you could just search contracting officers Fort Hood. And now I've at least got something. I've got a starting point. And from the starting point, I can start to build my picture and answer any problem I have. That also goes with when you're trying to learn things about the FAR, when you're trying to learn things about writing a proposal, when you're trying to learn things about sales activity, business development activities, any of those different pricing. Pricing is a really complicated thing. Sometimes you just need to learn little bits and pieces and put all of that information together until you finally have what you're looking for. And at the end of the day, it's also looking at what other resources do you have, like people like us, whether it's our podcast, whether it's stuff on LinkedIn, YouTube, or reaching out and asking a question. Hey, Mike, I've been banging my head against the wall and I can't find this bit of information. How do I find that? How would you find this information? And I could say, oh, go look in this system. It's right here. So if you like this video, please be sure to subscribe. This was 4 of 5. I've got one more left, and that one's on writing skills. I think you're really going to like that one. And then we'll wrap up this series on what it takes to win from the Game Changers book. If you have questions, you know how to reach me. We'll see you next time.